Hi, I guess I wanted to do a little video about what dissociation feels like. So kind of like the basics, I guess. I'm pretty sure the majority of you have dissociated. It basically is like an intense daydream, and it's like autopilot. So if you've ever driven a car from home to work and back and you don't really remember the journey, that's kind of like dissociation. Because yeah, it happened, but your memory doesn't remember it because your brain was elsewhere during the journey. You were thinking about getting home to your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, pet, children, whatever, or just to your ready meal for one, to be a bit depressing. But yeah, it's a bit like that. And for me, I experience time loss, which can be very scary at times, because I can lose a day, 2 days, a week sometimes. The very minimal is like a minute. At the moment it ranges, depends how dissociated I am and also which parts are present. So, and if there's more than one part present at one time. So if there's one part present, say if Anna is present, which I love, because she's really joyful and happy, and oh, you'd love her if you met her. She loves rabbits and toys and just giggling and just being a kid because she's 8. And if she's present, I won't be present, so I don't know what she's saying, who she's saying it to, and that can be a bit dangerous sometimes because she's very vulnerable. So with our dad especially, she can she gets in the car, or she used to let him abuse us because it was quite, it's something if you imagine a small child, she's gonna get in the car with her dad kind of thing. So the way I see it with parts is you've got to get in the frame of mind of the age and their experience. So with Louise in particular, she's very low. She's had the abuse for many years. She doesn't like people. She won't talk to you. She will be completely mute. You'll know she's around because I will just sit there and there'll be nothing. And she'll probably just nod or shake her head at the very most, which can be a bit tricky at times. This is very vulnerable, like Anna, to the abuse. The other part's Ruth, and Ruth is very anxious all the time. She is very set in her ways. She has rituals she has to do, and a lot of it revolves around the number 7, which is a very important number to me, us, everything. 7 is a scary number, but an important one. And yeah, Ruth is the one that has the panic attacks, and she's the one that controls the medication. She controls how much food we eat, what food we eat. She's very much in control of that, and she likes being in control. She's very intelligent too, more intelligent than me, ironically, and I love her as a part. I love all of them as a part. And then there's Alice, who I'm really sorry you've probably met before. She's quite angry and aggressive and throws huge drops. She's a classic teenager in that respect. If she can't have her own way, she will try and get it by any means possible. She's the one that overdoses. Alice is the one that I want you to be afraid of, because she is scary, and I don't want you to talk to her very much because I feel like an awful person sometimes, because there she goes again, yelling at the people that I care the most about because she can't have the way she wants. So yeah, Alice is the one I get frustrated with and the one I get angry at. The one I have to apologise for repeatedly when I can't. I just get so frustrated. As you can imagine, like, these parts have a role in my life and a role in my friends' lives and family's lives, you know. They have caused me to lose people, many, many people, and that's why I tend to isolate myself. So if you are a part of my life and I talk to you, you should count yourself very lucky, because I don't just talk to anyone and I don't risk dissociating in front of anyone. So, like, if I talk to you every day or I talk to you most days, you're very special. And I trust you, and I trust that the parts are gonna yell at you, but you will stay. And for that, I am very thankful. And then we have Olivia, who is a very new part, and one I am completely connected to, because she is the grey area. She sees things in the middle. She is balanced and rational. She can understand abuse and understands why we continue to go back for the abuse, but she's able to notice that it is abuse, and she's able to just keep everyone calm and balanced. She hates people, which is her prerogative. But she loves animals, like absolutely adores animals, and if she could just work with animals and not talk to another person for the rest of her life, she would be set. She is an incredible part, because after discovering her, I've kind of started to notice how Olivia can almost firefight all the other parts, because you've got Alice getting so angry, and then you've got like Louise, who's so low and won't talk about it, and then you've got really anxious Ruth, and then you've got little Anna, who's like terrified because she doesn't like being in places that she can't know where she is, and she wants to feel safe, and she wants to be with adults to look after her. So Olivia is kind of a very important and key part. And then we've got Jacob, who's very new and very, like, I don't really know much about Jacob, and I think I'm really excited to learn about him. And this is the thing, like, I never used to be very excited about learning about new parts, because I used to be terrified. I used to think, you know, I'm a freak, I have multiple personalities, and I'm a freak of nature. Like, everyone should stay clear of Sophie, because she is crazy and insane, and like, there's not many people who suffer with it, and there's a lot of bad press about it recently, like with Split, and saying how like that character would lock women in like a basement, I think it was. Like, don't quote me on that, but seriously, that is not DID. That is not dissociative identity disorder. We are more harm to ourselves, if anything. I'm not gonna hurt you. Alice might yell, but she's never physically hurt anyone unless they are abusing us, and that's the difference. These parts are there because during childhood abuse, your mind splits off, and if it's chronic and it's ongoing, your mind kind of splits into tiny little fragments, and all these fragments kind of go all over the place, and then you kind of develop these multiple personality states because you are so split as a person. It's very hard to explain it, but most days I hear a lot of chatter in my head. Like, if I'm in between states, like I sometimes hear Louise talking to Alice, or I hear Olivia trying to like get everyone to just shut up. I hear Anna a lot, like laughing and giggling, which kind of makes me happy. When Anna is sad, I struggle to make it better, because all she wants, like, all I want is a mum and a dad, and sadly I cannot provide that for her in the way that a child that is 8 deserves. Sometimes I think it would be so much easier if I was never abused by my dad, and as you can tell from like my previous video, I still get very affected by it. I still cry. I cry every day. I'm still traumatized. I still feel a bit like I can't do anything about it, and like recovery is going to take years, and that means my life is put on pause for years, and I'm not mentally prepared to accept that. Like, I get that I'm only 24, but a lot of my friends now have jobs, they've been to uni, they've graduated, they are married, they have children, and I am alone. I don't have family. I have barely any friends, and I am in a mental health hospital for like, I don't even know how long I'm gonna be in here, and like, I've been in and out for years. I've been NG fed, I've been in and out of eating disorders, I've been self-harming, I've been overdosing. I have overdosed on paracetamol over 100 times now, and most of it has been while I've been dissociated, and I cannot remember if I've taken it or how many I've taken, and that is the scariest thing about this disorder, because with blanks in time come risks, and this time, how I got in here, how I got sectioned, was that I was meant to meet with the police, and I dissociated and freaked out, and I told Art is the worker who helps report, that I'd come to peace, that I was happy with my decision, that I wanted to die, and that was more the Louise part of me, and it was part of Sophie too, because I had reached the end. I was like, wow, I can't do this. I am losing people left, right and centre. I am screwing up and fucking everything up. And I am sat here with memories, and like over Christmas I had 4 broken ribs at the foot of my dad kicking me in the ribs, and I was just like, and then to have your mum ignore you and want you dead, like, how do you come up? How do you come back from that? And I think I went missing. I overdosed on codeine, and my therapist had to guide me back to a safe place. And then Anna had to take the lead from there, because all the other parts were in chaos. And I feel guilty for this, and I will always feel guilty for this, because they don't deserve that. And sometimes, especially tonight, after being re-traumatized on the ward by another patient, I feel like it's the point. And tonight, yeah, I'm going to admit it, I feel suicidal. I feel like I want to die, and I feel okay with that, and I know that that's the issue. But tonight, I'm just like, really, I think it would be easier on everyone, including my friends, if I died. And truthfully, I think that's true, because they wouldn't have to come visit me, they wouldn't have to make the effort, they wouldn't have to put up with the dissociation anymore. They'd be happier without me, and I truly, absolutely believe that. Dissociation has ruined my life. It has made me lose a lot of people. It's made me put my life on hold too many times than I can count. And I envy people that just daydream or just can't remember getting from A to B. I envy you, because I'd give anything to have that. I'd have a boring job, boring husband, children that would frustrate me. To not have the dissociation, like, because like really at the end of the day, as I'm sat here, that's all I have. And that scares the hell out of me, because it's like, what's going to change? How am I going to feel better? And I don't really know. But I just kind of wanted to say that dissociation scares the hell out of me, and before I end the video and before I go have night meds and try and unwind, I just wanted to say that if you're suffering a dissociation, I'm here for you. I understand how difficult it is. I understand that you want to die. But I don't know, I don't want you to give up. Please don't give up, because, like, someone's got to make it. Someone's got to recover to prove that it's doable, because at the moment I have never met a sufferer that has recovered. And I'd really like to see that. I really would. So yeah, I'm gonna go now and have my night meds, but I just wanted to say I am struggling. And dissociation is the cause. But of course, like, if we're really going into causes, it's my dad. He abused me. He screwed up my head completely and made it impossible for me to maintain relationships with anyone. So thank you, Dad. And that's to you. Thank you, Dad, for being able to walk free yourself, and for me to be locked in a ward with scary patients, wanting to kill myself. Like, thank you for that. And that's my final bit, really. Thank you, Dad, for everything that you've done.